In this video, we're going to learn how to make a small game counter for use in the laser cutter. Start by opening Adobe Illustrator. When Illustrator is on the screen, click the Create New button. The canvas options will appear. Make sure that you start by changing the measurements option from points or pixels or whatever is in the box on your computer. Change that to centimeters. Now change the width to 3 centimeters and the height to 3 centimeters because we only need a small canvas for this project. The sizes will be different depending on the task that you're doing when you come to do this at a different stage in your projects. But for now, centimeters, width 3, height 3, and you need to make sure that color mode is set to RGB color. That's really important. RGB color is the mode that you need to select, and raster effects, the next box down, is set to high. When you're ready, click create. So just double check you've set it to centimeters, the width is 3 centimeters, the height is 3 centimeters, color mode is RGB, and raster effects are set to high. Click create. Your canvas will appear on the screen. It's very large because it's on your computer screen, but in reality, if you were to print this out, it would be 3 by 3 centimeters. Now we're going to draw a small smiley face that we can cut out using the laser cutter. To do this, select the ellipse tool from the far left-hand side menu. You may see a different tool currently selected in this slot, for example, the rectangle tool. If that happens to you, click and hold on the tool until the menu opens and select the ellipse tool. Now draw a circle on your screen. You can see it's a perfect circle when the 2 pink lines appear. If it's not dead center of the canvas, you can just move the circle around using the arrow keys on your keyboard. When you're ready, we need to start to change the colors. So the laser cutter uses 3 colors. It uses black for very slow line by line raster engraving. That's good for cutting out like engraving solid block shapes. It uses red for cutting through a material, and it uses blue for vector engraving, which is a much faster form of engraving, and it's very good for outlines and text. So I'm going to change the outline of my smiley face to red because I'm going to be cutting this out. So first, select the fill color, and right now it's set to white. I'm going to select none. So click the one with the red line through it, and then you need to make sure that your stroke size is set to 1 pixel. So I could change the size to 5 pixels, and it's very thick here. So I need to make sure that that is set to 1 pixel because that's the format that the laser cutter needs. Now click on the stroke color. Now you may be looking at the swatches panel with lots of the different colors in different little squares. If you see this, switch to the color mixer by clicking on the little easel icon. Now you can see we have 3 sliders: red, green, and blue. The laser cutter uses pure colors, so pure red, RGB red, and pure blue, RGB blue. So for the color that we are going to use to cut through our material, we need that to be pure RGB red. So you move the slider to the top number is 255, we can see that there. Turn the green down to 0 and blue down to 0. Now we have pure RGB red selected. Go back to the ellipse tool. Now draw 2 eyes. So eye number 1. There we go. Now that's red, RGB red, so the fill color is already set to none. The pixel size is already set to 1. So click on the stroke color box again, and this time turn the red slider all the way down to 0. Green is already down to 0. So you can see right now the eye's black. And turn blue up to 255, which is the maximum you can go. And you can see now we've got pure RGB blue. Next, you're going to simply click on the selection tool, click on the eye, edit copy, edit paste, and then move the eye into position, or you can draw the eye again, whatever's easier for you. So now we've got two eyes on our smiley face. I'm going to give it a not quite a happy smile, just use a straight line for this example. So rather than going to the shapes tool again, go to the line segment tool. Now if you don't see this, it's the fourth option down. Click and hold and you'll see there's arc, spiral, rectangular, grid. So we want the line segment tool. So click that. You can see the fill color is already set to none. The stroke color is blue, it's remembered that from before. And we've got 1 pixel in size. So I'm just going to give it a mouth here. There we go. So now I've got the red to cut out the shape. I'm going to engrave the two eyes and engrave the mouth. So the image is ready to go. That's finished. So the last part is we're going to save this file so that it can be read by the laser cutter. There are two options for doing this. Let's go through them both. First, click File, Save As, and then give your file a name. So I'm just going to call this Face SVG because that's the format I'm going to use to save it. And I'm saving it in a folder on my desktop called Face Counter, but you can save it wherever works for you. Then change the format from Illustrator format to SVG, not compressed, just SVG. Click that and then click the Save button. And that's ready for the laser cutter. It'll give you this screen of options. Ignore those, just click OK. And that's saved into your folder. Now sometimes you'll find that even though we've done everything correctly, the program that we open up the image in for the laser cutter ignores the colors that you've chosen. It doesn't always like working with Illustrator. So what I do as a backup, just in case that happens, is go to File, Export, Export As. And then I'm going to give it a new file name. So I'm going to call this Face DXF. And when it says format, and right now it's PNG format, change that to AutoCAD interchange file, a DXF file. The laser cutter can also work with these types of files. So click that, save it in the same place. So it's called Face DXF. It's the AutoCAD interchange file format, and just click Export. It will give you more options. Ignore them, just click OK. Now if I go to my desktop, you can see in my Face Counter folder, I've got two files, Face DXF and Face SVG. Take those on a USB drive. So if I go to my USB drive, which is here, you can see I've already got some files saved here. Take those to the laser cutter and follow the laser cutter guide that you were given to create your counter.